Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett. Oh no, I think I'm about to have another episode.
Okay, my friends, family, and followers. This is Charlie Jewett coming at you with episode 104 of the Renovating Retirement Podcast. Changing the world one bad guy at a time. Well, I hope. I hope the bad guys are going out of business, and I hope that you are voting with your money and firing them by moving your money instantly into a credit union or a bank account while you listen to the rest of these shows, or while you get in touch at charlie@jewettwealth.com, CHARLIE at JEWETT.com. This show today, I guess it's not today because it's forever, right? This evergreen show, I want to make cricket noises, but I don't know how, is episode 104. That's fine, but the title is Stop Taking Advice and Start Taking Charge. You do not need a trusted advisor to tell you what to do. You do not need a financial or retirement planner, so to speak. Why is that? I'm going to go through several things today. So dig in, get some popcorn. If you're driving in your car, that's fine. Just listen. Go back, listen to it again in the future with a notepad or something like that. I'm going to dig in today, okay? Let me highlight and review some of the most important things that I teach, that I've taught over the last 103 episodes. And I want to help you understand them. Some of you who are kind of stuck on the fence as far as firing your current advisor, or still feeling like you need to work, locally in a brick and mortar location, that somehow the best advice maybe comes from the name brand big companies that have a location in every strip mall, or that you see on TV during Super Bowl commercials. I want to help you get unstuck from that old detrimental model that's hurting you. So let me make a couple of points. One, if you're working with a local advisor, they are in your town, you're almost guaranteed to have an inferior retirement. It's just basic probabilities. I mean, just listen to this question. What are the chances that the top mind, the best advisor in the areas of mortgage planning, estate planning, retirement planning, insurance planning, and tax planning happens to live in your town within driving distance of you and you have heard of them? If that's the case, if you have the best of the best in all those areas and you happen to find that person and you have the perfect retirement plan, guess what that means for every other person hearing my voice right now? They don't. So even if one of you or one town can work locally, every other town in the United States, if they work with their local advisor, their retirement plan will suffer. They will live less of a life than they could have by forcing themselves to stay in that old model and having to work with somebody they can drive to and shake their hand and look at their beautiful office. What's their office? All the paper they print for all these huge, giant, quote, plans, the nice cars they drive, the gas you use going back and forth. What is all of that costing you to keep all those offices open? Today's world is virtual, and folks, you're listening to my voice right now. You've probably never even met me. I meet people, they say, I've listened to, all of your shows. I feel like I know you. Exactly. Because to know people, you don't have to be in their local environment anymore. We have webinars, we have video conferencing, we have, phone calls and podcasts and things like that. So whether we meet by phone, FaceTime, on your iPhones, or Skype on an Android, or on your personal computer, we could use Skype, or we could use a Zoom meeting, which I have set up. There's no need to sacrifice the retirement that you could have just to be able to sit in somebody's office anymore. If you're working locally with somebody you've been referred to or found in the newspaper, or they knocked on your door, God forbid, your retirement plan is almost guaranteed to be inferior. You will not get what you deserve. And it's not small. We're talking 20-30% less income for life, way more fees, way more risk, leave way less money to loved ones when you pass away. You could fix all of that without increasing your budget by even one dime. Number two, if you're taking advice rather than telling your advisor what to do, you're almost guaranteed to have an inferior retirement. When you design a home, your architect does not tell you what you should do. They don't say, you should have 2 bedrooms. And you go, but I have 9 kids. They say, shut up, you should have 2 bedrooms, because that's what we do here at Edward Morgan Lynch, architectural firm, blah, 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 right? You go to an advisor, and if they're really good, or you go to an architect if they're really good, they're going to ask you questions about what you want. Well, the reason you don't need advice, you don't need an advisor, the age of the advisor is completely over. The reason is, or there's two reasons I'm going to give you. One, you don't need someone to tell you what you want. We all want the same things in this area. We want more rate of return, pay lower fees, pay less taxes, have more income, leave more behind when we die, to take care of a spouse or whatever, be ready for emergencies, have peace of mind, etc., etc., etc. We don't need anybody to tell us these things are good. We know that. Very simply, the plan that does better in these areas is the better plan no matter what, quote, salesman has it available to you. I don't matter. Your best friend who works for one of the big firms that maybe is your advisor, he or she doesn't matter. The advisor doesn't matter. We're a channel for you to buy things through. We have to have licenses so that you can purchase things through us. Now that gets abused to where most advisors earn your trust and then tell you what you should do. And I don't know why their answer is always stick it in the stock market where they can charge you and make money whether they're working or playing golf. I don't know why. They always do what's worse for you. That's why I started the show. This industry is disgustingly abusive in how much stocks, bonds, and mutual funds they put you in, which isn't a plan at all. The plan that does more income, lower fees, more money for loved ones, less taxes, does that better is the better plan, and you should buy it through whoever has it, whether you like and trust them or not. The channel you buy through doesn't matter. You don't ever buy a Hyundai when you want a Mercedes because a friend of yours works at the Hyundai. You pick the car you want and you deal with whatever salesman you got to deal with, and you learn how to hold them accountable. That's how we all make major decisions. If you'd like a very easy way to know whether to stay local and work with your advisor that you like and trust so you can drive into their office, or to switch to a virtual relationship through video or phone or webinar, whatever technology you enjoy, with my firm. If you'd like to work with my retirement renovators, just go ahead and use the 5 Lives of Retirement test in the following way. Long life. Get a plan from my firm and compare it to your current plan. Which one has higher income for life that cannot go away or be negatively affected by the stock market no matter what? If your plan has income coming from variable, non-guaranteed sources like dividends, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, it has already failed. And you know that you need to leave your advisor immediately. Any plan I see where they're saying it should give you this income if all things go well, fail. No way. That advisor is dangerous. That is not a plan. If you like them, you love them, or you're married to them, you can still invite them to parties. You can still tell your old advisor, you can be my friend, come to funerals, Christmas parties, things like that. But watch how fast they don't want to be your friend when you stop paying them to do so. Yup, you've got a professional relationship with your advisor for sure. You pay them to act like they like you and to send you email and mail that keeps you happy and on, feeling good, like they care about you. Watch what happens when you take the money away because you found something better. See how much they want to be your friends and what relationship you really had. How about short life? How would you use the short life test to just decide whether you should stay local or go virtual with me? Well, short life means how much money is left for you or your spouse if the other one passes away. Well, I've never even seen a Joker Broker plan that even covers this, so it's probably going to fail. But just ask your advisor if don't even give them any warning. Just call them up and say, if I died in 15 years, would my wife be okay? They're going to go, I don't know. You say, well, if we made it to retirement and we took income, we took an income we needed from age 62 to 75, and then I died, or my wife died, would I be okay? Just ask them any question, because their answer to everything is going to be, I don't know, depends on market performance, and your plan fails. Whereas in one of my plans, I'm just going to show you, here's what you get if you die. Here's the income replacement. Here's the giant chunk of money that comes from death benefit to create an income replacement or whatever it is. It has to be thought about, and Joker Brokers don't even think about it. Rough life. Okay, all these plans, your plan that you have right now is probably pretty good for rough life. You probably have access to your giant portfolio of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds in an emergency, or if you have annuities, you have access to about 10% of them, and that's fine. However, your emergency funds, rough life is just in case something happens. Your emergency funds, how much money are they earning? If in your current plan, it's all sitting in the bank, making less than 1 and 1.5%, fail. If it's sitting in cash inside of your portfolios, making the same amount, fail. I've got actual products I can show you that my clients have earned for the last 2 years, where they made over 20% on their emergency fund money in over 2 years, and it was liquid the entire time. There are no penalties to leave. You can have it whenever you want to, but it's earning stock-like returns. If we find your current plan, your emergency fund makes nothing. In my plan, your emergency fund makes a ton of money, or has the potential to, then all right, makes the decision easy whether to stay local or go virtual. Sick life, long-term care. People don't typically drop dead these days. They fade away as things stop working, but medical advances keep them alive. And that's a very expensive time. It lasts, 2.5 years, whatever, costing $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month. What would happen in your current plan if one of you had to pay that money for 2 or 3 years? Well, I already know the answer. It's just an exercise for you to go through. Your Joker broker is going to go, I don't know, it depends on market performance. The answer to everything is it just depends on market performance, because I really didn't give you a plan. I just gave you a whole bunch of stupid lies and some hope. They don't know. My plan's going to say, oh, well, geez, if you go into long-term care, your annuity income's going to double. And, oh, by the way, you can accelerate your death benefit. Over here, you can take this $1 million and spend it over 4 or 5 years, and you got all kinds of money. It needs to be planned for. And then how about going into the next life? What are you going to be worth if you pass away at the ripe old age of 90, let's say, right? Current plan, if it says, I don't know, depends on market performance, that's a problem. What are the taxes going to be for your kids at that time? I don't know, depends on tax law. That's also a problem, right? What about that compared to I'm leaving each child $2 million completely income tax free? All right, so the number one way I want to take a look at this is just use the 5 lives of retirement, go through them, and ask your plan some questions. And if you don't want to do that by yourself, just get in touch with us and we'll do it with you and for you. Charlie@JewettWealth.com. CHARLIE at JEWETTWealth.com. All righty. The second way you know the age of the advisor is over for 2 reasons, besides the fact that you don't need them. You're the one that decides what you want. You design your own blueprints, which I'll show you how, and you take it to quote advisors or professionals and you make them shop for you. You make them help you see clearly, or even better yet, like me, you make them provide for you proprietary products that nobody else has, no other group has. The second thing, the way we know that the age of the advisor is over, is that the industry abused this trust that you put in your advisor so badly that people like me have had to turn on our own industry, expose them, slap them around a little bit in order to even begin to draw attention to what they're doing and try to get them to stop hurting you. They have not stopped, and they won't stop. It's too profitable still. The only way to stop money-hungry criminals from doing what they do is to take their money away and make it unprofitable for them to keep behaving as they are. To hit them where it hurts, you have to vote with your money and move your accounts away from them. Only when there are no more clients looking for, quote, advice from, quote, someone they can trust, will these crooks get out of the game and go find some other way to hurt people for a living. There's not a single one of you who needs advice or someone to trust when it comes to retirement planning. You know what you want: a ripping high paycheck, peace of mind, and everybody to be taken care of if anything bad happens. That's what you want. Create your own blueprints. I'll show you how. All you need is to know what you want, right? My books, this show. You can get in touch. We'll help you over the phone, show you how to create your own blueprints in case income increase. Just come up with your numbers. And you need to know what your options are when it's time to buy each of those pieces. The reason you're not making the type of money in your emergency fund as my clients are is that you don't know that that product exists. You don't know where to buy it. You don't know where to go get liquid or where to put liquid cash where it can make up to 10.5% every year. You don't know it exists. The only time you'd need advice is if you had a chunk of money left over after you did your entire plan. So after you set up your in-case accounts and your ripping high paycheck, your income sources, you've got some money left over and you want it. You need it for like drug reasons. You need it to go into stocks, bonds, and mutual funds so you can have the excitement of the ups and downs, right? Even though safer strategies with less fees are beating the stock market and they have better tax treatment, you need the market if that's the case. The only time you need advice from somebody is if you had money like that. I'm not going to completely cover it here, but you'd at least have to go find an investment advisor who could prove they're beating the S&P 500. I mean, you could just buy the S&P 500 and you're in the market. Diversified. 500 changes all the time. Well, sometimes. You got to find somebody who's beat the market and can prove it. And then, and maybe only then, do you need some sort of advice, and it's very specific to investment advice. What should I buy? What should I sell? When should I do it? Other than that, none of you need advice. You need clarity and the tools that I provide so you can design your own plan. What you want and what options are to purchase for each of those things. Easy peasy. Awesome sauce. All right. Number 3 thing I want to teach you today, okay? How to take charge. If your retirement plan does not include and combine all areas of financial planning that are needed, you're almost guaranteed to have an inferior retirement. Again, I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm not saying this to point you to the thing that I created called merit planning, mortgage planning, estate planning, retirement planning, insurance planning, and tax planning. I'm not doing this to point you to my stuff. I created my stuff. I created merit planning in 2005 because it's what the industry was missing. This is a myopic industry where advisors give advice in only their area of expertise without any regard to what it does to any of the other areas. Tax advisors will literally tell you, postpone taxes to a later date when you will be in a lower tax bracket. Never asking you, do you think taxes are going to go up or down? Will you really be in a lower tax bracket with no kids living at home, no mortgage, and not contributing to IRAs and 401k? They don't even ask you, do you think tax... They just go barf out what they've heard in their trainings. Your investment advisor is going to tell you to do things that hurt you on your taxes. The mortgage guys aren't going to say anything. They're just going to give you a loan and drool over the commissions. They're not going to say, well, why are you making a large down payment? You're putting down $400,000, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, to save, 4% before tax deductions? Where's the money coming from? How much is it earning now? Oh, it's been earning 5 to 6%. Why would you give up 5 or 6% to save a tax deductible 4 and stick more money inside your house where depreciation can take it away? Why would you do that? You're losing money. Oh, but we were told it saves you money. No, it's just math. Losing 5 or 6 to save 4 is not good. Anyway, I'm going to get into that in a minute, so let me calm down here. I am pointing you to merit planning not because I created it and it's cool and I want to advertise it, because I created it because of this problem. Having reviewed over 1,000 financial plans at this point, I know what your advisor's doing before I look at your plan, and so do the people who work for me. Without ever seeing your retirement plan, I can almost guarantee the following. The mortgage planning piece of your retirement plan, you don't really have a mortgage plan. You've been handed down some regurgitated, outdated, dangerous advice from the 1930s that says, pay off your mortgage as fast as possible because it saves you interest and it's a wise thing to do. Let me have a bagel. Basically, they say paying off mortgages, paying your mortgage off is safer and more profitable. Or let's make it even more basic. You have been taught that it is a good thing to do to accelerate your mortgage, to pay a big down payment, to do 15-year fixed instead of 30-year fixed, or to pay extra towards principal. Haven't you? This idea made it to my list of the 3 pillars of financial destruction. It is in no way, cannot be argued. There's no one on the planet who can argue that this is safer or more profitable than the alternative. They're just ignorant and haven't taken the time to go do the research, and they just barf whatever they heard from their trainers back out to you and make money. There's not an insurance company or a bank, the entities with the most money in the world, who would ever try to be debt-free on their own. They want you to do it, particularly the banks, because it's good for them. If you foreclose on a home that has a lot of equity in it, a lot of places they get to keep it. But they'd never use this strategy for themselves. They're trying to borrow more money at 1 or 2% from us buying CDs, and they lend it out at 4 or 5 or 6% for car loans and home loans. They're trying to get into more debt because of what's called arbitrage. There's not an intelligent, wealthy person on the planet who would say, take or keep money out of investments that compound at 6% and use it to pay down debt that costs you 2.5 to 4 after tax deductions. Now, there's some stupid billionaires, particularly in my industry, who say the stupidest things I've ever heard. So there's definitely stupid wealthy people. I'm saying there's not an intelligent, educated, wealthy person who's done their research who would ever tell you to put extra money towards principal if that mortgage is costing you 2.5% to 4% after tax deductions, and you knew where to make 5 or 6% tax free. The issue is you don't know where to make 5 or 6% tax free, and we can fix that really easily. Read my books, or two ways to be debt free. I wrote a book on why to never pay off your mortgage. The 2 ways to be debt free. I think it's free on my website now. It's like $3 on Amazon or free on my website. So go to jewettwealth.com, JEWETT, wealth.com. Free books. Da-da-da-da-da. That's the right price. Or go to watchcharlie.com and look for these 2 different videos. There's one called Home Equity Planning Seminar or something like that. Just go to watchcharlie.com. Look for the one where I'm wearing a suit, the little picture of me in a suit, and or look for one called Arbitrage. You can do a search, Arbitrage Charlie Jewett on YouTube, and you will find it. Now, you don't have a mortgage plan. I know this before I even see you. You have bad advice from an uneducated local joker broker. Let's go to the second part of merit planning. What do I know about your plan before I see it in the area of estate planning? Do you have an estate plan? Do you have a living trust? If you do have an estate plan with the living trust, has it been funded properly? Would you even know how to check that? Has anything changed since you set it up and funded it properly? Did you get rid of an account? Did you add an account? Have the values changed? If not, it may be out of date. How old are your power of attorneys? Think realistically for a minute. Your financial and medical power of attorney. You sign these things, right? If you get in a car crash and your wife gets a call or whatever and says, your husband was just in a car crash, do you really think she's going to go and grab your living trust and bring it to the hospital when she just heard that you're being rushed to the hospital? No way. Who knows this? The hospitals know this. So you show up, you don't show up. Your spouse shows up. You're already there in the ambulance. You're out cold, can't make any decisions. They say, ma'am, do you have a medical power of attorney over this guy? Can you make decisions? She goes, yes, I can. We paid thousands of dollars for it. Where is it? I don't know. I think it's at home. And they go, okay, well, if you don't have yours, here's one for you to sign. And they give you the one that their attorney wrote, which is good for whom? You or them? Them, folks. Have you built into your estate plan a way for them to get copies of your medical powers of attorneys just faxed over to them within 5 minutes or anything like that? No, because my estate planner didn't tell me about that. My financial planner didn't tell me about that because all he talks about is mutual funds. My tax guy didn't tell me about that because that's not his job. Well, whose job is it? The merit planner's job. Renovating retirement. It's all one plan. There is no such thing as mortgage planning, estate planning, retirement planning, insurance planning, and tax planning. Those are pieces of a financial plan. If you're going to be paying for insurance, to cover estate tax, there's people, by the way, that bought insurance plans back when the estate tax exemption was $2 million. They probably bought insurance plans for $3, $4, $5 million of death benefit that then didn't need them at all because a couple could be worth like $10 million and not have a problem. Guess what happened now with the Trump changes? You can be worth over $22 million as a couple and not have an estate tax problem. Are you still carrying a life insurance policy that's completely unnecessary and wasting all that money? It will do nothing for your family. Now, it's great. Your family gets a crap load of money if that's what you want, but it's not solving any estate tax problems, which for most American families, the estate tax problem has been removed unless you're worth over $22 million and you're married. Will this living trust that you have even keep your family out of probate, which is really the entire issue with estate planning right now? I don't want to spend my entire time on estate planning, but let's talk about this for a second. What is really the most valuable thing? What are true assets? If you could leave anything to kids, would you really say the most important thing you want to leave behind is your house, your car, your mutual funds, a whole lot of money? Just look at trust fund babies or lottery winners or even athletes. What happens when you leave somebody a whole lot of money? Usually, they blow it. What are the most valuable things that you have as a human being to leave to your children and grandchildren? Have you ever heard the expression, would you rather teach a man to fish or give him a fish dinner? What would you like to do for your heirs? I've asked a lot of you in person, and I know your answer. If you had the choice between leaving wealth to your children or leaving your abilities to earn wealth, no matter what, they could take it away from you, you could earn it again. I'm pretty sure Bill Gates, if he went bankrupt or we took all his money and we stuck him in any city in the United States, through his knowledge, his ideas, his reputation, his connections, I'm pretty sure with his non-financial assets, he could rebuild an income stream and eke out a living. Don't you think so? So what's the most important thing to leave to children? Your bank accounts and your cars? Or your knowledge, your ideas, a family name with a good reputation, your stories, your skills, the ability to do these things? Listen, do this for me. Go to legacystories.org. It's not a product I sell, it's something I bought for you. Legacy, Legacy, stories, STORIES.org, and just poke around there for a bit. You can record everything you know. You can record your grandparents while they're still alive and capture all their stories from the early 1900s before they pass away and those stories die with them. What they learned way before the internet and modern day financial planning, what they learned about life, every area of life, parenting, how they met. You can videotape them. You can take every picture you have of your family and take a picture with your phone and create a legacy forever. It's a vault for wisdom and for moments in time and for truths, ideas. And you can capture it all. And here's my question. Has your advisor even mentioned a tool like this to you where you can capture the most valuable assets and leave those behind when you pass on? Have they even told you about it? On the contrary, I've already paid for every one of you to have this tool for free. If you're one of my clients. Now, how can I afford that? Well, because I don't have a strip mall in every I don't have an office in every strip mall in the nation. That's why. We don't need offices. We need incredible financial plans. We don't need 1 million advisors in suits. We need a couple of great people working virtually who are trained as retirement renovators. You can have this tool. If you're one of our clients, you can have this tool at no cost. Just go check it out and see if you'd like to leave a legacy of wisdom, everything you've learned in every area of life. Faith, family, finance, and fitness. Capture all of it. Capture all of your pictures, all of your videos in one place. Let that be there for your kids when you pass away. Now, what about the retirement plan and merit planning? I covered mortgage plan, estate plan. What about retirement plan? What do I know about your plan before I even see it? You don't have a plan, probably. And I'm not saying that to insult you. I'm saying that I've reviewed 1,000 financial plans, and they are not plans. You've got a giant binder with maybe 80 pages printed, and those pages have like colorful pie charts, historical returns. They're full of variable investments. Here's how much we have in large cap stock, small cap, a little bit of international barf over here. We're going to do a little bit of local barf. We got some bond barf, and maybe some REITs. We'll barf on some houses, and barf, barf, barf. It's just a pie. And Americans are like, I love pie. So they go with it. They're using deceptive rates of return that have never been true, and all securities or investments that don't have guarantees. Even if they pay dividends, that's not a guarantee. If you don't believe me that your advisor's lying to you about the math on your retirement plan, just go listen to episode 004. One of the first ones I ever did. Is your advisor smarter than a fifth grader? If your advisor is using average rate of return and not reporting to you compound annual growth rate, you need to fire them instantaneously. Move your money to a credit union, move your money to a bank account, and then keep listening. You wouldn't wait to fire a babysitter that was molesting your kids. You wouldn't wait till you got through the interview process for a new babysitter. You fire the advisor instantly as soon as you find out they're not the best choice out of 7 billion people in the world, and then you go shopping for someone new. You can't plan for anything with risk with a side of fees and mystery returns. If your financial plan has stocks, bonds, and mutual funds all over the place, you do not have a financial plan. You have risk with a side of fees and a bunch of hope. Hope is not a financial plan. If you're lucky, some of you are. If you're lucky, you're going to have some annuities thrown into the plan because somebody said, well, you really shouldn't have more than 30% of your money in annuities, but if you insist on having some safety, or if you insist on lower fees, or if you insist on guaranteed income, or if you insist on never losing money again, all of those things I think are overrated, by the way. You should really just risk it all so I can play golf. But if you insist, definitely don't go over 30% of your portfolio, which is a total mouthful of hooey. There's no 30%. Where did they even come up with that number? You should be allowed to do 100% of your money into annuities if annuities met your risk tolerance and it was suitable for you. The industry has had to react to criminals putting you in the wrong annuity, charging more commissions. They've had to react and limit you to 50 or 75% of your net worth anyway. Anybody who comes along and says you shouldn't have more than 30% is a total buffoon. But if you're lucky enough to already own an annuity, oh man, baby, we're going to go to town. Once you own an annuity, it's a commodity. That thing can be compared to every other annuity that now exists. You might be able to refinance that. Hey, just like mortgages, when rates go from 5 to 4 to 3, you refinance and save money inside of annuities. As new products came out, or the same product used in a better way, or wait, brace yourself, folks. We have proprietary products, very much on purpose. I switched my group, Renovating Retirement, to the best insurance marketing organization in the country because they make their own products using the same insurance companies that you have access to through other people, but you can't get these products. We're making products that no one else is allowed to sell or offer, and they are better. Just to give you an example, some people have products where when the S&P 500 goes up, you get 47% of it. It's called a participation rate. You get 47%. At the recording of this podcast, our newest proprietary product gives you 50% plus dividends. If you don't know how big that is, go study dividends. 50% plus dividends or 47% no dividends. That's the example. If you already have an annuity, get in touch. We'll review it for you. Charlie@JewettWealth.com. All right, what about your insurance plan? What do I know about your insurance plan before I even meet you? Charlie, how could you know anything before you meet me? Because I've looked at thousands of these. I mean, they're all the same. It's a bunch of pie and variable investments and a lot of hope. Your insurance plan, you probably have too little insurance or the wrong kind of insurance, or you're paying way too much for the insurance you have, or you haven't been shown how to use insurance to beat the stock market with tax-free returns, or you don't have any long-term care insurance, or if you have the long-term care insurance, you're paying for it instead of doing what I do, which is doing a retirement plan using insurance strategies so that they will pay for your long-term care insurance. You probably don't have double income from annuities. You probably don't have accelerated death benefits. You probably don't have a true insurance plan. You might have something someone told you to buy. If you have whole life, I'm going to show you how to make it way better. If you have universal life, I'm going to show you how to make it way better by refinancing it into a new policy with 20% of the commissions, because you're financing those commissions for the rest of your life. Folks, your insurance plan as it exists right now can be made easily better. And that's what I know before meeting you. How about a tax plan? Tax planning, you're investing in a way that probably doesn't even match your own tax beliefs. I've asked this question to so many people in the last 13 years. Do you think taxes are going to go up or down? Just think about it. Do you think taxes are going up between now and when you die, or down? A lot of you said up. Almost everybody. I've had 2 people in 13 years say down. So you say you think taxes are going to go up. Okay. Do you want to be in a higher tax bracket later or lower? In other words, do you want your lifestyle to be going down for the rest of your life, or getting better, or staying the same for the rest of your life? If you want your lifestyle to stay the same or get better for the rest of your life, then you're planning to be in the same tax bracket. So you think taxes are going to go up, and you want to kind of stay in the same bracket or a better one. Would you ever postpone taxes to a later date, like put money in IRAs and 401ks, if you truly thought taxes were going to be higher and you'd be in the same tax bracket or a higher one? Let me rephrase it. Would you ever postpone taxes till later so that you could pay more tax? And your head is blowing up right now, unless you've heard me teach this. This is where you have a train wreck when you attend one of my seminars, and everyone does, because you are not even investing based on your own beliefs. You're putting money into IRAs and 401ks, postponing taxes to a later date when they're higher, and you're accelerating your mortgage. You're paying down principal on your mortgage, eliminating one of your best tax deductions later, so that you can have the incredible financial plan of having no tax deductions in retirement, yet having fully taxable income at a higher tax rate, which, by the way, triggers taxes on your Social Security income, called a tax torpedo. Woohoo! That sounds smart. That's the tax plan your advisor and your CPA, not working together or working together, have given you in all of their infinite wisdom. Postpone taxes to a later date so you can pay more. Pay off your mortgage so you have no deductions so that you can pay more to Uncle Sam. I have fixed this problem in everybody's life that I've ever met who will let me help them in any way, and I'll fix it for you. All right, let me get off of that. So that's what I know about your plan before I even see you. Okay, fourth thing I want to teach you, if you're stuck on the fence and you still feel like you need a local advisor, instead of going virtual and getting the best advice on the planet, the fourth thing I want to teach you, because I could really go all day. I mean, this is going to be a long podcast, I know that. I could talk all day on this stuff. But I want to wrap it up, okay? If you're not working with Renovating Retirement, if you're not working with someone on my team or me, myself, you're almost guaranteed to have an inferior retirement. Did he just say that? Did Charlie Jewett just say that? It sounds so arrogant. He sounds so prideful. Before you stop listening, because you think that sounds arrogant, and before the compliance guys choke on the fettuccine Alfredo, let me explain something to you. I've been at this since January 2005 and have reviewed over 1,000 financial plans. It might be 2,000 at this point. I stopped counting. I've never seen a plan that I couldn't beat or improve, and usually that takes less than 5 minutes. Why do you think I've challenged every advisor in the country to go on TV with me, and I won't even prepare? I just say, bring the last financial plan, last 5 financial plans you made, and let me rip them to shreds in less than 2 to 5 minutes. Because they're not even financial plans. They're just 80 pages of fake historical returns built on lies and a future hope that comes with risk with a side of fees. That's not a plan. A plan is I put a spare tire in my car. I pay extra gas to drive that stupid thing around until the one time every 5 or 10 years where I blow a tire. But I put it on and I drive to the tire store and it gets me there that's a plan. Looking at past performance and lying about the rate of return and saying, I hope it happens in the future, that's not a financial plan. I watched Floyd Mayweather win his 50th fight against Conor McGregor. I'm interested in mixed martial arts, so I was very intrigued by this fight. One of them's a boxer, the other one's from the sort of martial arts world. Guess how many fights Floyd Mayweather has lost? 0 in his entire career. He fought 50 times and lost 0. Is he allowed to go out and say, I've never met someone who can beat me? Yes, he is. Guess how many fights I've lost? 0. Unfortunately, I can't find any other advisors with the courage to even participate in the fight. So I'm in the ring by myself with a bunch of paperwork and a bad attitude. Though very publicly, I challenge any advisor in the country to do this, to go ahead and prove that they're awesome. Can you imagine the publicity they'd get if they beat me? Especially including I'd put them on my show and give them time to train my group how they beat me? But they won't. I speak to their clients by phone, video, or webinar, and I look at their plans. This is how I battle. I look at the plan that's been built, and then I beat the tar out of it every time because it wasn't a plan to begin with. And we're not even on the same playing field. If one group is only using mutual funds and outdated information and regurgitating what they've been taught, pay off your mortgage, postpone taxes to a later date when you're in a lower tax bracket, and diversify, only amongst securities, stocks, bonds, and mutual. They're just barfing up what they've heard. Those are the 3 pillars of financial deception. Why didn't they go study all of them? Find out who first said it. What's changed? Is it still true? Why didn't they do the work I've done? Because they're lazy. That's how I know I'm going to beat them. Until that's not true anymore, until someone beats me, I'm not going to stop saying it. And listen, compliance, this is what is best for the consumer. It is best for the consumer that they work with Renovating Retirement because of the plans we're giving them. Lower fees, less risk, safer, more income, worth more when you die, more for long-term care, more for the world. Let's go solve world hunger. It is what is best for them. This is the job of compliance. I'm doing the job, protecting people. In fact, if they go somewhere else, they're going to get hurt. And I'm not going to stop saying it until it's not true. When it's not true, whoever proves it's not true is going on my show, and they're going to help everybody. Let me just blast through real quick. I know it's a long podcast. Let me just blast through the 13 reasons why you're almost guaranteed to have a better retirement if you work virtually with my team instead of going into your local advisor's office because you trust them and have been working with them and you like them. In-case accounts. Look at your emergency funds, see how much money you're making. You're probably making between 0 and 1.5% because you might need the money at some point. I want to turn that around. without adding any restrictions or any penalties, and just very easily teach you how to make what my clients make, up to 10.5%. There's some monthly strategies where you can make up to 24%. The highest I've seen is like 16.5 somebody made, or whatever it is. Getting your in-case accounts making you money while still being liquid, and by the way, they come with extra benefits as well. Income accounts, more income. Very, very easy to say. I give you 20, 30% more income, period. Go to anybody in the country, particularly your local advisor you're already working with, but go to anybody in the country, get an income plan, send it to me, and let me crush it. Increase accounts, growth. First and foremost, you're probably paying tax on your growth. I'm going to show you how to beat it by not paying taxes. That's already an improvement. Secondly, if somebody knows those strategies, take anyone in the country with a stock portfolio or a tax-free growth strategy, send it my way, and let me instantaneously show you how to improve it by tweaking it, how to take that Crown Victoria and make it into a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor model. A cop car, baby. Your retirement plan should be a cop car. It should be souped up and better than all the rest. Long life. That's income, not running out of income. Your current plan probably doesn't have guaranteed income for life. If it does, it could be higher. I'm going to show you how. Short life, protecting your spouse if you pass away, or your girlfriend or loved ones. I'm going to show you how to do that better without any increase in spending. Rough life, again, show you how to get an earnings on your emergency fund and add some side benefits. Sick life, how to have way more long-term care insurance without having to pay for it, or maybe not having to pay for the long-term care insurance that you have because it's replaced with something better that you're not paying for. The next life, how to leave way more money behind than you'd ever imagined without spending another dime, doing efficiencies, optimizing your assets, not paying for stuff. In addition to that, like I mentioned earlier, how do you leave all of your memories, all of your pictures in a place where they can't be burned or lost? Everything you've learned, the stories of how you met your wife, what you guys learned, what your grandparents learned, the stories of the birth of each of your kids and how it made you feel. How do you capture all of that, non-financial assets, the true wealth, and leave it to loved ones? If your advisor isn't showing you that, you can have that. Mortgage planning, your advisor's not doing that, and we're going to teach it to you. Estate planning, retirement planning, insurance planning, and tax planning in every possible way. I know I sound arrogant, but it's true. In every possible way, your retirement plan can be better, and you can live the life you deserve. The best life. You worked the 30 or 40 years. Folks, there was a time that I felt like I might be running out of things to say to you guys. I thought, have I taught them everything I know? I mean, do I have anything left to say? But then I review another financial plan, and I see another unsuspecting family member being ripped off, or another, retirement, family in retirement that's being ripped off by their joker brokers. And I read another article by some financial idiot who's become popular lying to people, and it infuriates me. Then I see the resistance people have to even moving their money out of the market because the market's just going up and up and up, and why would I move it when it's going up and up and up and up? And I know, just like the last time, these people are about to lose a huge chunk of their money. The money they're about to lose when the market adjusts could be equated to 5 to 15 years of their hard work while they were working in their jobs. They never quantify it that way. Remember, Americans lost $14 trillion in the last, quote, adjustment we had to the market in 2008 and 9 and after? Where'd they lose that money from? Was it from indexed annuities, indexed insurance policies, single premium insurance policies for in-case accounts? Was it from those things? No. They lost that money in the two places that I say not to put money, and in the two places that the most popular financial bobblehead in our country, he's even in the churches. The two places he says to put money, the stock market and your home, is where Americans, our people, lost $14 trillion the last time the market went down, and it's time for another market adjustment. Are you going to lose money this time in your home and in the stock market? Or are you going to say thank you for all the growth and protect it? No, I'm not running out of things to say. On the contrary, this country needs me to keep mouthing off until these crooks and criminals run with their tails between their legs and find some other group to hurt. I'm not going anywhere as long as retirees are living inferior lives. Some slick local advisor gave them so that they can go play golf all day on your dime? No, I'm here for good to help you and your friends until we both shall pass away. Stop taking advice, loved ones. Take charge. Fire your advisor. Move your money today. Keep listening and get in touch. For some clarity, if you want a windshield to see clearly, the help you deserve to build the plan you know you want and can have, get in touch. Charlie@JewettWealth.com. Charlie@JewettT Wealth.com. Other than that, I don't have any strong opinions on the subject. Peace.
Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett.
But that's all, folks.